Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, a merger of national significance. Randi Thompson has the rundown.
Well, if you can't hear me now, we'll have the man who tell us why not. Rob McCoy, who's a senior manager for communications and public affairs at Sprint Nextel.
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Joe Gill, David Jacobs, and Mike Alonso. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The Resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And we welcome to the program former newsman for KVBC, now senior manager of communications and public affairs for Sprint Nextel, Rob McCoy. Welcome to the program, Rob.
Hey, thanks, Sam. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you. Let's start out and talk about Hurricane Katrina and the effect it had on Sprint. And for example, start us at the beginning. When did you first know what had happened and how much damage had been caused to your system?
Well, I think all of us were watching, as most of America was, all of the news coverage. We knew this was a monster of a storm. I have to say that Sprint has a great reputation in major catastrophes like this. In fact, last hurricane season in Florida, when Florida was hit not by 1, 2, or 3, but 4 times by hurricanes last year, we were prepared. It took us several weeks to restore service, but our crews out in the field are quite good at doing it. I don't think anything, Sam, prepared us for what we saw down in the Gulf Coast region because of Katrina. In the Mississippi Gulf Coast area, that looked more like your typical hurricane disaster. Homes rendered to sticks, a lot of lumber, a lot of buildings displaced, cars upended. But it was the problems in New Orleans that we've never really dealt with before. When that city flooded, we had facilities under anywhere from 8 to 12 feet of water, and as you know, water and electronics do not mix. And so I would say within the first 24 to 36 hours, we were trying to basically find out exactly where our facilities were at, secure those facilities the best we could, and then put a game plan together to try to get to our facilities and to begin the repairs. But it was extremely difficult because of all of the water.
Obviously, communications were a critical element in the emergency response part, and landlines being the ones that just got devastated. Did Sprint have a role in developing a communications plan, or do you think you guys now will get involved after the fact and helping develop a communications plan that's not landline based?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. Actually, most of our facilities in New Orleans and Mississippi were wireless facilities. They were not landline facilities. But once again, water and electronics don't mix. What we did immediately was to loan 20,000 handsets, wireless handsets, to emergency personnel, federal, state, local. And of those 20,000 phones, 10,000 of them were our new Nextel phone that has the walkie-talkie feature. So that particular product worked really well in this situation. In fact, that phone was the only phone that was working when all the other cell companies weren't.
Not surprised.
How many thousand people did you have on scene and currently are on scene?
I think at its peak we probably had over 1,000 folks working in the 2 to 3 states. We have set up a base of operations in Baton Rouge. In fact, we're affectionately referring to it as Sprint City. And from that facility in Baton Rouge, we have fanned out into the areas of southern Mississippi near the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, both southeastern Louisiana, and then because of Hurricane Rita, which came a few weeks later, also southwestern Louisiana or the Lake Charles area. So we have been working from that base of operations. I might add that we have sent several Nevada Sprint team members to the region to also help in the efforts. So this has really been a nationwide effort on the part of Sprint and Sprint Nextel, as well as our employees, to do everything we can to make the folks who are affected in that area, make their lives just a little bit easier. Although I've got to tell you, it's been really difficult. A lot of our employees have come back and have told us of some really heart-rending stories. I mean, it's one thing to restore somebody's telephone or their wireless telephone, but a lot of these folks don't even have a roof over their head now. Yes, they can communicate because of our product with their friends and families all over the country or all over the world, but they don't have a roof over their head. And it's stories like that, I think, that we're just now beginning to hear and to see in the media. I think the resiliency of the American people in this situation has been a story that probably hasn't been fully told yet, but the resiliency of everybody, including the people most affected, has just been, I think, a vintage American response in a very difficult situation.
Rob, how fast were you guys on the ground there after the hurricane hit and the levees went?
We were there the following day. Actually, we have folks already in that area. We have about 400 employees who were devastated, have lost their homes, they're homeless, so we have 400 employees already that were in that area. But we started sending in fresh troops 12 to 24 hours later and setting up our base of operations there in Baton Rouge.
You know, I was going to ask you, you were there within hours. Walmart was positioned and there within hours. Doesn't that give strength to quite a few folks now who are saying that private enterprise should be the people that run disaster relief rather than the government?
I think that's a good point. I think particularly those of us who work in industries where we deal with outages on a daily basis. That would, of course, be telecommunications. It would also be the electric power industry, the gas industry. We know how to get the job done in situations like this. I have said for years, if I'm ever up against it with my back against the wall, I will take an army of our technicians in the field with me anywhere I go, because they tirelessly work to get the job done, they do it right, and they're compassionate in their response.
And we're going to take a break and more, and we're going to talk about the big merger with Rob McCoy right after this time out on Nevada Newsmakers.
This satellite interview is sponsored by Scott Craigie and Alris Consulting.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
For more than a decade, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been helping the community embrace conservation as a way of life. That includes replacing more than 50 million square feet of grass with water-smart landscaping, During the worst drought on record, watering restrictions and tough landscaping codes have reduced the community's water use by billions of gallons, even as thousands of new residents were moving into Nevada. That's smart water management, and that's our promise to Nevada.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
The materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
Island Inkjet is now open on South Meadows Parkway. Island Inkjet will refill your inkjet cartridges in just 1 hour. We have the ink to precisely match over 240 cartridges, saving you up to 60% on the cost of buying a new cartridge. Our work is 100% guaranteed, and contrary to what you may have heard, refills do not void any printer warranties. You don't throw out your car when it runs out of gas. Don't throw out your cartridges. Refill them at Island Inkjet on South Meadows Parkway by Smith's.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we continue our conversation with Rob McCoy, who's Senior Manager of Communications and Public Affairs for Sprint Nextel.
Okay, so Rob, the question is, will the Sprint phones have the two-way technology that Nextel has? This is a critical thing.
Well, you know, actually, we came out with that about I would say a couple of years ago. It's called Ready Talk. And we do have it, although I have to tell you, I think the Nextel product under the Sprint brand is pretty powerful. And they've done a fabulous job over the years of really, I think, targeting a group of customers in the United States and worldwide that can use that technology. And it really came in handy during Hurricane Katrina. I forgot to mention in the last segment, and I just want to get it in, that all of our employees have been involved in this. Our employees, coupled with matching gifts from our corporate offices, totaled about $6.5 million for Hurricane Katrina relief. And that has gone to employees of ours who were affected in the area, but it's also gone to residents of that area. So kudos to our employees. They always step up, and they have again this time.
Let's talk about the merger. This is a huge merger that's taken a long time between Sprint and Nextel. What does it mean for the nation? What does it mean for Nevadans? And what does it mean for the company?
Well, I think we've combined in Sprint and Nextel two pretty big powerhouse wireless companies. We've combined them into one. They're now a Fortune 30 company, 80,000 employees worldwide. I think we've got strengths of both companies that have been merged. Obviously, Nextel has been very good in small to medium-sized businesses, especially the construction trades, public safety folks who love that walkie-talkie feature. Sprint, on the other hand, has been very much into the enterprise business market, as also the consumer market with its wireless products. So I think when you combine those two, I think it's a pretty good merger.
It seems like the only way that companies are making money these days is to merge. And is that kind of the case here, or was this a good, I mean, obviously it's a good economic decision, but is it a good decision for the consumers?
I think it is. I think competition is always good. We've solidified our position now as the third largest wireless carrier in the world, but we are strongly competing with the other major wireless companies, who I shall not name in this interview, but because of that's right. Because of that competition, it's always good for the consumer. And we'll be coming out here in the next months to next year with some exciting new products and new technology that are going to allow our customers once again to be able to blur the line between work, home, and play. Mobile communications is just about ready to go to the next level, and it's really exciting
Can you
stuff.
give us an idea of what that might be, Rob?
They would shoot me if I did. So,
well, we don't want that. We just got you on the show. We don't want to have that. Well, let's talk about this, the effect of this merger on the state of Nevada.
Yes. One of the big parts of this merger is the fact that Sprint Nextel has agreed that we're going to spin off local landline services. And as you know, in the Las Vegas area, we're the incumbent local provider. We're the main telephone provider in Las Vegas. And we have filed for authority from the Public Utilities Commission of Nevada to separate from the parent company next year. We've also made that same filing in 14 of our 18 local states where we have landline service. And I would say first or second quarter of next year, provided we get all of the approvals from all of the state commissions, we will separate from the parent company, Sprint Nextel, and create a totally new company, a new local company, with a new brand. And I think what that is going to do, that is going to allow those of us in the new local company to really refocus our efforts on our customers locally. You know, Sprint Nextel is a very large, very aggressive wireless company. We do it really well. But our focus is not necessarily on the local customer. I think out of 6 Sprint Nextel customers, only 1 is a local customer. So I think by spinning off or separating from the parent company, we're going to be able to hone in on our local customer and give them even better service, more exciting products than they've ever had before.
Well, we're very excited to have you come back on and talk about all these new technologies. A brief answer, if you would. I know the FCC has mandated that cell phone technology has to match landline technology in the near future. How far out is that?
You know, we're still a ways out from that, but once again, Sam, you're talking about blurring the lines between landline and home and office and on the go, wherever you go. And so it's coming. It's coming. That's where technology is going. That's what we're going to be doing. You're basically going to have your communication device. You can use it at home. You can use it on your landline, one telephone number for both. That's where the industry's going, and you can bet Sprint Nextel and the new local company will be leading the way.
You know, the old line, "I want to be alone," will no longer be applicable. Rob McCoy, thank you so much for being here. Your old colleague John Finkbonner says hey, and we appreciate you doing the program.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
This satellite interview is sponsored by Scott Craigie and Alris Consulting.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, just 10 minutes east of Sparks. We're proud that Walmart and other Fortune 500 companies have chosen Tahoe Reno Industrial Center to relocate their businesses. We have sites from under 5 acres to well over 500 acres, and with all of the amenities that every successful corporation requires. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, and we're building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Nevada Beer Wholesalers encourages the responsible consumption of beer. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association are sponsors and participants in many community-based efforts such as school education programs, safe ride home, recycling programs, alcohol-free after-prom and graduation parties, safe voting campaigns, and designated driver programs. They are family-owned businesses employing 2,000 Nevadans. They also collect and pay the state excise tax. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association, delivering more than just beer.
My family started this business 27 years ago. We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The Resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back with our Power Pundit panel, Mike Alonso joins us with Jones Vargas. Joe Guild is here. He's an attorney. And David Jacobs, assistant city editor of the Reno Gazette-Journal. I have to start out. I'm sorry about this. I watched and listened to your interview with Dee McGuinn from last week. And
which got preempted, by the way. If you want to watch it, go to NevadaNewsmakers.com, because I thought it was a very good interview.
It was a very good interview.
She's the first lady.
And I totally respect her, but I just think that she's put, women's issues back into the 1950s where, I mean, if you told my wife that she couldn't run for any job she wanted because I was going to be the governor or anything else, she would kill you.
But she didn't say that. She said you can't do two jobs.
Well,
and that's her choice, and I thought that was the point we were making. She has chosen that path.
I don't disagree.
She comes from the old school of politics where you stand by your man, and having run for office without a man a couple times, I'd love to have one stand by me. It's tough. So that's her choice.
And you would make him quit his job to be the First Lady?
Heck yeah!
All right, and I have total respect for Dee McGuinn and all the great work she has done, but I just think that on this particular issue, I would have to disagree with her.
Okay. And you can do that because that's your opinion.
That is my
obviously
opinion.
John Gibbons.
And it's your show.
That's right. You have a different opinion, get your own show. Okay. President Bush today nominated Harriet E. Myers. The White House counsel is his choice to replace Sandra Day O'Connor, his second nominee for the Supreme Court. We don't know too much about her at this point, Mike.
Well, I don't know very much about her. I doubt anybody else does either. And I think that it's going to be really interesting for Republicans and Democrats, because I think the Republicans are going to come out and say she's probably not to the right enough, and the Democrats really don't know at this point. And I think it's going to make for a very interesting confirmation process.
And she's not even a judge.
Or a very short... Go ahead. No, go ahead, David.
Well, I like to be a reporter in Dallas right now, and she was on city council, and go through everything go through the transcripts, go through her campaign speeches, just to see what was said in the past and what was done. So I think that's interesting. There is some kind of record there.
And the fact that she's not a judge is not a disqualification in my mind. In fact, it might be a good qualification.
And why?
I've enjoyed listening.
Well, because she comes from a real-world background. Sometimes judges tend to get sequestered, and I've had judges tell me that, it's kind of a lonely life being a judge, and they get sometimes out of touch. I'm not saying she's going to be in touch. I don't know anything about her either, but I think it's a really interesting choice, and I think it puts people like Charles Schumer and Ted Kennedy in a real box, because they don't have anything to really shoot at her with. Maybe the tactic was, or the strategy was, let's get this over with and get on with some really important things, like the Katrina relief and Rita relief and tax reform. I mean, the Bush administration still has an agenda, and they have 3 years left, and maybe they want to get this behind them.
Do you think at this point, Mike, that the Republican right is doing very well? I mean, with Tom DeLay, Bill Frist, both having major problems, and the president himself not looking too good at this point. How much of his agenda do you think he's going to be able to accomplish? Or is this nomination an example of, as was said here, just getting it done?
Well, I think on this nomination, and Wall Street Journal reported this morning that this was Harry Reid's pick, and so I think the president is reaching out across the aisle to get support on. I think Joe's right on some of these issues, to get him moving and try to get back to his agenda. How's the Republican right doing? I don't know. That's a good question. Over the next 3 years, we're going to see, because of the things you mentioned, they're going to be tough on the president, and the Katrina issues and all those kinds of things are going to be difficult for him. His popularity is down. So I don't know how he's going to get that agenda.
And if it's Reid's pick, real quick, if it's Reid's pick, maybe he wants to get this done and behind him too, because the Democrats have some things they'd like to accomplish.
Well, the thing is, to me, is that the Republicans appear weakened, but the Democrats don't appear to have a platform. I mean, what's up with that, David?
Well, I think, first of all, with this pick, I watched the announcement this morning. The president said he's known this person for about 10 years or a little bit more. So it's interesting that he picked somebody that he knows very well. It's not somebody that he'd be taking a chance on. He's had dealings with this person. So I think that is going to put him at more ease, and there might be fewer surprises as part of the confirmation process. So maybe that's a factor.
I looked at CNN this morning real quick too, and online, and they vetted Harriet Myers thoroughly this summer. She was on the list, according to CNN's website. So she's been on the list for a long time, even though she probably didn't know that.
Well, to answer your question, the Democrats are the party of no with no agenda.
Well, spoken as a true Republican, I guess we know where you're coming from. Okay, I just want to bring this up very briefly. We've only got about 30 seconds left. Remember all the fight over the train trench in Reno, and this was going to be the biggest disaster, the worst thing in the world, and they said, come out and get a free tour of the train trench, and 2,500 people showed up. There were lines, they were passing out water. We thought it was disaster relief in downtown Reno. Does this surprise you that there is now this positive spirit towards this?
It doesn't surprise me, having lived here for a long time, Sam. I mean, McCarran Ring Road was a huge issue, and now we can't live without it. And I think it's very difficult to find somebody who's opposed to the trench project today. I mean, it's coming on time and under budget, and I think people appreciate it now.
I've represented the Union Pacific Railroad, as you know, Sam, for 25 years, and it doesn't surprise me at all, because all of the doom and gloom, we were prepared, as I helped to prepare some of the rebuttal to that. People want this trench. They've wanted it for 60 years.
Lord knows I want it. I'm tired of waiting to go to lunch because there's a train there. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Abadi Ranch Parkway.
Yeah. Island Inkjet is now open on South Meadows Parkway. Island Inkjet will refill your inkjet cartridges in just 1 hour. We have the ink to precisely match over 240 cartridges, saving you up to 60% on the cost of buying a new cartridge. Our work is 100% guaranteed, and contrary to what you may have heard, refills do not void any printer warranties. You don't throw out your car when it runs out of gas. Don't throw out your cartridges. Refill them at Island Inkjet on South Meadows Parkway by Smith's.
If you missed the Dee McGuinn interview, you can catch it on NevadaNewsmakers.com.
And it was a good interview.
It was a great interview.
I thought I was tough on her.
You were tough.
Tomorrow we're talking problem gambling with Glenn Christensen from Stations Casino and Bill Edenton from the University of Nevada.
We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Pleasure.